my name is Judi Beresford and I'm the Director of Corporate Services. Almost exactly a year. I think my interview was probably the online, and it was the second week that we went into formal lockdown, so it was a bit scary. So it's a new role, so even now a year on, still kind of finding my way through a little bit, and I have responsibility for HR for a department that we call People and Organisational Development, which captures an awful lot of the sort of corporate work that we do, and also for our Systems and Information department. And the challenges on a daily basis are sort of keeping up with the activities of all of those different departments and the different functions, and the kind of curveballs that come in on a daily basis. Exactly that, really. The variety that it brings, the fact that one day you know, I'm talking about HR things, another time I could be talking about occupational health related things, you know, getting involved with lots of other people. It's just a really, no day is the same, and I think that's great. That's what keeps it fresh. So I did go to university, but I went to university quite late in life actually. It was the kind of one of the final qualifications that I did. So I started with the County Council many years ago in social services, and always kind of had an ambition to get involved in HR things, which I was fortunate enough to be able to do. But my career path was very much on the management development or training kind of side of things. And then I joined Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service and was responsible for their operational training a number of years ago now. And then was fortunate enough to come back to Derbyshire, which is where I revisited the broader church of HR, if you like. And that's where my qualifications were originally in management development and training delivery. And then latterly I went into HR and I did a master's degree in human resource management. I think I fell into a career as opposed to having a career path. I feel very envious, and I suppose that's the purpose of part of the conversation really, is that I feel very envious that for young women today and sort of children growing up, I do feel that the opportunities are kind of endless. It's only limited by your own imagination, and I think when I was growing up, as I say, too many years ago than I care to remember now, you either became, as a woman, you either became a nursery nurse if you know, you were kind of going in that direction, or you became, I think medical secretary was one that was kind of offered to me as I was leaving school. Very traditional kind of clerical support kind of role. So the idea of being an oceanographer or you know, an archaeologist or something like that, a surveyor or an engineer, was never really on the firefighter, was never on the agenda for me growing up, you know, in the 70s, 80s. Crikey, yeah. Yeah. I think one that always stands out, and I was very young, was I was only probably 18 or 19, was "It's not your turn, duck," was a comment that I got given by a colleague having just missed out on a promotion. And the other one that is slightly tangential to your question but stands out for me is that, and links to what I was just saying, I guess really, that for those who know me, I'm 5'2" on a good day. And you know, reasonably small in stature. So I actually wanted to be a fighter pilot. I also wanted to join the police. I also did look at the fire and rescue service, and I also wanted to join the army. So I was quite orientated to those kinds of backgrounds, I suppose. But because I'm 5'2", 5'1.5", it was, they wouldn't even give me a second look. So it was, oh, you might want to go and try the army, but no, because I am small in stature, that wasn't an option for me. So those careers at that stage were kind of no-go areas. I'm really happy with the way, and who wouldn't be really, you know, I feel that I've got a very successful career, and I've loved 95% of it, genuinely. But I do still wish that I had had the opportunity to do those things, to maybe be a police officer or join the army. Whether I would be cut out for it or not, I'll leave for others to kind of be the judge of. So I'm really pleased to be involved in a non-operational capacity in an emergency service, because I suppose, having had those barriers all those years ago, it's the kind of closest I was going to get, really. Which is a bit of a regret, I can't deny, but equally I'm very, very happy with the career I've got. I think it's a bit like being the older sibling, isn't it? In that, you know, you're the one who's expected to do all the things first. You know, whether that's move house, live with somebody, you know, whatever it is. I'd like to think that, you know, irrespective of whether I'm from an operational background or a non-operational background, I've been around a while, and I'd like to think that people can turn to me. I hope they can turn to me if they feel that they need some support or advice or guidance, whether that's male or female. I definitely see that that's my role, and particularly for young women coming through who are thinking about a career. Absolutely, the world's your oyster, and never more has it been the case. I know there's still more that we can do, but the fire service is on the right trajectory, and I'm really, really proud to be a part of that. Be yourself, keep faith in yourself, which is kind of a different thing. Be strong, and don't let your limitations be the extent of your imagination.